Hello, air signs, and welcome to your guidance for December 2024. If you're a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, this is your guidance for the final month of the year. This is all based on your particular element here, which is the element of air. So let's get right into it, and we'll roll these dice to see your indicator number. We've got a 10 here, a 4, and a 6. So closure, peaceful closure, heart-centered energy, heart-centered transition. This feels like very positive vibes coming from your role here. It feels like smooth energy, calm energy. Interesting. So yeah, we're going to be working with the Major Arcana and the Suit of Swords. To set up your reading. This is your guidance for the month, of course, based on your element. And then in the description, you will find links to each of the individual signs where we just take a look at, take a look at how the other three elements are going to be interacting with your energy and how you can use them throughout the month. Okay, we're just setting your tarot and setting up your reading here first before we get into it. And I just think that with a 10, a 4, and a 6 to make a 10 here for you, it's like closure energy that comes from the heart that wants everything to kind of be peaceful. It's like you want the transition of the end of the year to be smooth and harmonious. And I think that's a good plan. I think it's a really good intention that we're getting just from the start of your role. So why don't we keep that in mind? Of course, the suit of air is the suit of intuition, clarity, truth. It governs our mind and how we communicate. Okay. Let's begin. Let's see what Major Arcana card we have. The Chariot, progress and movement forward. Yes. The closure of the year feels like it's meant to be happening for you, and I love that. It feels like you're wanting to, again, move smoothly through the transition from 24 into 25. And so this month with a Chariot, that's movement towards success. That's being in co-creation mode, everyone moving in the same direction, everyone on the same page. Let's see what we have connected. Yeah, more movement. Aggression and rapidness is what this says. That's interesting that they're putting these words here. This would be like if you are caught up in your head too hard and you just want to move it forward without waiting for the intuitive and the mental states to combine or to connect together. But overall, a Knight of Swords, this is the movement card, right? Knights are moving things forward. Look at it. We've got all these horses. We've got movement, and more movement for you in the suit of air, these air signs. So I would say this is very positive. If you have a plan or something that you've been strategizing and you're closing it out, let's say at the end of the year, this is like smooth movement forward or progress forward. As long as you stay in what I would say is co-creation mode, which means these two horses, think of them as you and spirit, or your physical self and your divine self. Those two parts of yourself, or your connection here and to your spirit team or to the divine or to the universe, what have you, they need to be working for the same outcome with the same intention to be able to be moving in the right direction. If all of a sudden these horses split, that chariot would come to a halt. So the goal here for December is not really to be in like a know-it-all energy at all. I would say stay away from that. This is collaborative movement towards success, but it's doubling down on movement here. So again, if you're strategizing, because oftentimes a Knight of Swords will wait for the plan to be in place to be able to make the move, and then they just follow the insight, right? They follow the sword. They follow the plan. They follow the strategy. when you have the clarity you need, or you find the piece of truth that you were looking for, you get that insight, or you understand that guidance, then I would say go for it, right? And because this feels like heart-centered, peaceful kind of transition, I don't know that it's going to be super difficult for you unless you're in a state where you're in a low expression of this, where you feel I'm super stuck, I don't know what to do, my channel isn't open, that kind of thing, where you're not open to co-creating, then, you know, it might not feel so peaceful. But overall, this feels like I know what I'm doing. Not only do I understand it logically, but I also feel like my intuition is checking this off. I feel like it's time for me to make these plans, to make this move, to set up this schedule, to align with this, to get this information, whatever it is that you're trying to move forward. Clearly, we see indication of you being able to do that, or having the ability to do that this month to close the year. Let's see what else we have. Yeah. Look at that. Closure, the world, completion, achievement. If you guys are trying to wrap something up for the end of the year, whatever it is, this is a successful conclusion. Movement towards success, and then we're getting the conclusion. Again, just another nod from Spirit kind of telling us, yeah, I'd like to close the year in a harmonious state. I'd like to have a nice transition out of. Yeah. Completion and achievement. That's what she has written down on the world card. Basically, the world is the end of a big section, right? Like it's the end of the major arcana. This is the final card of the major arcana. And it says, I'm done. I've closed it out. I've completed it. So if you've been working diligently like on something for a long time, this will close that out. If you've been trying to process something, make progress on something, you know, you're clearly making it and then finishing it. There's no doubt about that. Now, let's see what else we have here. The Queen of Swords, independent and assertive. It's like, you're going to make sure to get it done. So great. She's even like gesturing. I have the insight. Now let's get it done. The Queen of Swords is, well, first of all, you have 2 court cards here, right? In the suit. So this is high level energy. It's like, this to me is the feeling of you guys know what you're doing. The challenge is to not be in your ego. You don't want to be on the low expression of these cards, because the Queen of Swords is this beautiful, patient, intellectual, and well, she has independent on here. So independent, I'll say, channel. She's a great communicator. She's very wise. She's smart enough to know that she's not going to just discard her intuition for her logic. She knows she needs both of them to be able to move forward, right? That she's going to trust that when that is in place, we can move. But she's not just going to go with one. And so if there's something that you're looking to complete, or you'd like to see come to a peaceful closure, a successful closure, ending in the end of the year in December, you need to make sure that you're properly balancing what your mind is telling you that you need to do, what your intuition is giving you for insight, and then also strategizing and communicating about it in a way that, what they're saying, they're using the word patient here, which is nice, because usually the feminine energy or the queens come with this sense of patience. She's fine waiting for the insight to happen. She's fine waiting for the information that she needs. She won't jump the gun unless she's in the low expression. So both of these cards in a low expression sees you driving forward without checking in, right? Not at all being connected, ignoring your intuition, or doing things that are illogical. So we don't want that. We want to have this beautiful balance for you this month, because things are, the chapter is closing, in other words, or something that's closing. It could be just the year, but I sense that this is, you guys might have a deadline even with this energy. And if you get to, in this, like, again, know-it-all, she can be very harsh with her tongue in a low expression, like biting, rude, okay, with her mouth, how she communicates. So you want to be careful not to lash out at people in order to get it done or to complete something. You will reach that point of success. That's what we're seeing happening. We see the movement happening with a strategy, with a plan, using your mind, using your intuition, and you're able to then communicate about how to complete it or its completion. And you can do that in a really kind way while still being assertive. Okay? So just watch the mouth is what I'm hearing. It's like, yeah, watch. They're just saying it like that. Watch the mouth. Yeah, do a quick check on your communication style, especially if you're like communicating with a large group of people in order to complete something. You could just be having people over your home and you're trying to get it all in shape, and so you want your family's help. It's like, how are you asking them for help? How are you communicating with them? Hopefully you're not being a tyrant, because that would be the underbelly of this energy. We don't want that. We want to have a good plan in place to get it in order and to get it done on time in a way that serves everyone, and communicate accordingly. Okay, let's see what we have here. The Hermit, introspection and solitude. Yep, it's the card of solitude, the card of going within. This is actually really nice because, you know, if you're reaching a deadline or getting something done, this tells me it's nice for you to have some time to reflect as well. So it's not all go, 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 complete, 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 success, success, success. Say that 10 times fast, right? But there's also time for reflection, you know, on perhaps the year that has passed. You may be going within yourself to reconnect after completing something or after feeling the closure. If you're working really hard towards something and you bring it to completion, which here it looks like you absolutely will have the ability to do that. You may need to take a vacation, take time out, spend time with your family, not continue to push it here, and go within yourself to realign. It feels like I'm realigning after hitting a success marker. Let me see what's connected to this Hermit. Oh, there it is, the Six of Swords. And that's that six that's what I'm feeling from this, is Six of Swords energy. So I'm loving that it came out. It says escape and travel. So yeah, if some of you are planning a trip or planning to visit family or planning some downtime, planning to have your schedule clear, that's all in very positive alignment for you for December. I feel like this group has been ambitious and working hard and getting it and moving it forward. And this card here is the card of peaceful transition. It's the card that says we're moving you into a much calmer, serene time, a much calmer, serene mindset. So if you've had to be like on point, make the plans, communicating, doing it, getting it done, strategizing, making the moves, doing the things, you know, once it's complete, or when you feel that success, take it. Take the moment in solitude. Take the moment to relax. Allow yourself to have an escape, right, from something. Allow yourself to transition out of that energy, because it feels like I'm go, 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 and boom, and rest. That's what this feels like. And they want me to say, you deserve it. You've been very productive. Perhaps we're looking at the entire year. Like I said, maybe you've been really productive, moving stuff forward over the year. Maybe you've been going through something, and the completion of the year allows you time to hermit inward, like go within yourself, spend some time alone, spend some time with those that you care about most. Be like insular. It's like, okay, I can actually revel in the comfort is how they're giving it. Like feeling comfortable, putting my feet up. Again, if you have a trip planned, yes, absolutely. Hopefully it's a trip that allows you to relax, to feel calm, to feel serene. You may just want to spend some time by yourself as well. Decompressing, relaxing, doing self-care. Whatever this is, it feels lovely, if I'm honest. And whatever you're trying to complete, it's a hard yes with these cards. And then most certainly having the time to yourself to regroup, for sure. Probably, I'm feeling it over the holidays. So you're probably looking to get it done, then you're going to get it done, and then you'll be able to take some time out as the year transitions to 2025. Okay, let's see what else we have here for you. Happy in the reverse position. Interesting. This is, when this card comes reversed, right, it's important for you to notice where it is that you are waiting, I would say, the first thing, waiting to be happy. So I'll be happy when I complete this. I'll be happy when this happens. I'll be happy when that happens. If you've been feeling kind of low, feeling stretched to your limits, you know, maybe feeling a bit tired because of all this movement, maybe you've been really asserting yourself again and trying your best here to bring this to a close, or you're just wanting it to be over, you want the year to be over, you're waiting for it to close. Instead, this is a card that asks you to find gratitude in the things that are around you, right? And because it's reverse, I'm sensing, right, that you're probably not super happy with certain things. You just want them to be completed. You're pushing. What Spirit's asking for you to do is look around and find some happiness now, right? So this isn't such a clip, like a drop off. Yeah, like they're showing me somebody, like, you know, when you're walking through the water and you don't realize that the bottom drops off into like a way lower, so then you just like, whoa, you go to step and it's not there anymore and you go underwater. That's what they're giving me. Like, we just need to take a step back and actually recognize the good parts prior to the successful completion. And that can be hard sometimes. Let's see what's connected. Inner peace. Okay. So yeah, your inner peace is up to you, right? And again, we picked up the peace and the calm, wanting to come in. And so it's like, I want to be happy, but I just gotta, right? We don't want that anxiety to be running your life. And this in the reverse position tells me you're probably kind of either unhappy with something or you're feeling like, okay, maybe not focusing on the things that make you happy. I would say put something in place once a day, like a gratitude practice where you're actually noticing the things that you're grateful for now, even in the hustle and the bustle and the movement towards completion and towards success. You are going to get there in this group because you are asserting yourself, because you are moving forward, you're making it happen, and hopefully you're in full co-creation mode. However, you don't have to wait to be happy. It's actually going to lend itself to your peaceful energy that we're seeing here, here, and here. If you can pick out happy moments and find some time to be a little happy in every day. It's a gratitude energy with that card. Being grateful for what you have. And then you'll have more to be grateful for. Exactly. Okay, let's see. A change in the wind. I love this card when it comes reversed, like it is. Just because it's divinely ordered change. So like you're on board for this. It looks like in this group, you're ready, you're making it happen, you're doing the things. This change is meant to happen regardless, right? That's what this card is all about. Like, don't try to fight the changes that are going on. Flow with them. They're happening anyway. They're happening from a divine appointment. Whatever is being shifted around, whatever it is that is moving and shaking in your life, it's on purpose. So the last thing you want to do is avoid the change, right? If there's something that you need to shift or adjust in order to make this deadline or to complete this or to feel at ease in your month, then do it. If you have to make a shift, okay. Flow with the changes. Don't resist them. Yeah. I mean, some of you are probably full-on leaders. You're leaders of your family, you're leaders of your friend group, you're leaders of a project, you're leading, a work group. Maybe you're the leader of a company. You could be an entrepreneur. Whatever it is that you have a leadership role in, there's probably things being shifted around. They don't want you to resist it. Use your leadership abilities and your communication skills and your co-creation skills to move these things forward. They're saying there's a reason why you're in this position. There's a reason for it. Not only all the work you've done, but it feels like some of you may be an appointed leader, like a leader of your family. Some of you may be like eldest children, for instance, or someone who happens to be the channel of communication in your friend group, or you know what I mean? Like, it just feels like some of you are the divinely appointed leader in the group. Like the one who speaks for the group, right? That feeling. So if changes need to be made, it's up to you to try and flow with them, or maybe to just flow with them. Don't even try. Find the bits of happiness in each day so that you can connect with the sense of inner peace, and don't avoid the changes. Try to lean into them. This is like we're rearranging things for the better. That's what Spirit's saying to you when you get this reversed. So if you try to fight it, it doesn't mean that it's not going to change. If you try to fight it, it's just going to be harder for you, right? Instead of letting the wind show you the way, you're trying to walk against the wind. It's not worth it. Of course, the polar bear maybe could do it. They're strong enough to walk against the wind, but it's not going to get them anywhere quick, and it's going to be exhausting. So use your leadership skills, communication skills, your channeling skills, your intuitive skills, your logical intellect accordingly. It doesn't matter what area. You're a leader. They want you to use it. Okay, let's see what else we have. The Eight of Swords, bondage and imprisonment, kind of not surprising. I'm putting this here. Why am I saying that? Because the happy is reversed. So it's like, if you're like, oh my God, this is such a drag. This is taking forever. Am I ever going to complete it? If you got any kind of narratives going on in your mind, these are self-made, right? These are self-imposed bonds. You're imprisoning your own self in your mind with an Eight of Swords. It's a manifestation card. So whatever you think is what you're going to see, what you're going to feel, what you're going to experience. So you don't want to be the victim. She's not actually being harmed at all, right? That's what I love about the Eight of Swords. All the swords are lined up. They're kind of creating a path for her here, but she's sitting there tied up and blindfolded when she could just literally get out of it. Just get out of that and stand up and walk away. There's nothing harming her. It's all in her head. So shift the narrative. Find the happy. Find the silver lining. If you can do it on the daily, I would say do it on the daily, because if you're feeling like out of sorts, anxiety, the opposite of peace, right? Then it's time probably to take the leadership role. It's like take your mind into your own hands. Shift that. This could be where you have like illusions, like, oh my God, we're never going to get it done. Or where you're operating under some sort of fear that's really stopping you. And it's actually just an illusion. It's not real. But the more that you believe it's real, the more it becomes real in your experience or your perception of the situation, the relationship, your life. So just watch out for what your mind is doing here. You are an air sign. So the mind plays a big role in directing you forward. And they're already telling you, if you have any discontentment, it's probably all in your head. And I don't mean it's all in your head, but the way that you're perceiving it and the perspective by which you're taking about that scenario that's making you discontent, it probably needs to be looked at and shifted. Asked about, perhaps. Maybe you need a new plan in place for how you're thinking about something. Let's see what else. The Five of Swords, conflict and defeat. Yeah, both of these cards are definitely, this is about conflict in the mind, being defeated in your head, you know, fighting or verbally sparring with other people. Maybe you're pushing up against the change, or you're wanting somebody to make a change and they're not changing. And so you're constantly getting into these verbal arguments or communicative arguments about things. This card in a high expression wants a change of mind. So there's something here that's coming through that needs you to be open-minded, that needs you to be open to shifting or changing. And that's what's going to make you a good leader, is being open-minded, being able to hear maybe what other people have to say, or being willing to make certain changes if they feel like they're in alignment. If they feel like, if you're like, you know what, that's not going to work, is it? We got to switch the plan. Or you get some information that comes through and you're like, oh, well, that changes this, so that means we're going to have to shift this. You don't want to be in, again, know-it-all energy, exactly what we were talking about, the low expression of these cards, because it's going to make it much more difficult. And you could be really rude, I'm going to say. You might be really harsh to people, and that's not fun. You may even be being really harsh to yourself, right? If you're in conflict in your own head and you're believing lies about yourself, you're not going to be saying nice things, I don't think, right? And so what we want here is freedom of the mind to manifest something beautiful, having that shift of mind and flowing with the change. The change in the wind may be the change in your mind, right? That's the high expression, where you come out of conflict and defeat for a more enlightened perspective on it. You may also find that if you are working to complete something, specifically for those of you that are working on a deadline or working towards some sort of success marker, right? That on the back end, when you hermit, when you have a moment to reflect, when you allow yourself to do some introspection or, look in hindsight, that you end up seeing it differently. And so the goal there, if the success has happened, is to, go into 2025 not making that kind of assumption again. Recognizing where maybe you were a bit at fault there, or where you could have done something better, or you could have communicated better, or you could have had some more positivity around it. It's not to beat yourself up, it's just to learn from how important, especially you guys, how important your mind is in the scenario of your everyday, day-to-day, especially leadership qualities, leadership abilities. This group sees you leading something, and we don't want to be caught up in negativity, and conflict, negativity, confusion of the mind. Instead, we want the clarity and the movement and the peace, this peaceful transition. Yeah, they're saying this again. So if in introspection or reflection mode, when you have the downtime here with this hermit, you start to see things in a different way. Please don't beat yourself up over it. Don't berate yourself, right? Breathe in and go, you know what? I won't make that mistake again. Or, oof, that is a good insight to have, or that's a good perspective. And maybe I just couldn't see it in the hustle and the bustle of trying to complete this or trying to get this done. But I'm going to take note of it in my mind. I'm not saying to let yourself off the hook. I'm saying to rise up and understand the perspective of how you might have been able to make that a bit easier or more peaceful for yourself and others had you looked at it this way, talked about it this way, etc. Okay, let's get some more messages for you. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. What else do you have to tell them for December? Okay. Cozy up with risk. Ooh. This is interesting. I mean, this could mean anything. They're giving me 2 lines, so I'll discuss those. The first is, when something shifts, if you're in a leadership position, you may have to make some decisions on your feet, choices on your feet. You might have to direct on your feet. You know what I mean? Like, make some decisions that affect how people do things or how the process is going to be shifted or changed. And so they're just kind of giving you a grounded energy saying, trust yourself and your abilities to be able to think on the fly or to maneuver, from a place of leadership. So that's the first line. The second line is, if you're feeling like you need an escape, right? Or if you feel like you need some downtime or you feel like you need some time away, but it's not part of the regularly scheduled programming, there is just a line in here where you may want to just kind of do it. You might do it on a whim almost, like, let's get out of here for a couple days. Or I'm going to cut out early and I'm going to take this day off. I'm going to take this weekend off. I'm going to take the whatever. And if that's the case, then go for it. Follow your nose. They're saying, follow your nose. Follow your intuition. You are air. Unstick the stuck. There's the 4610. Again, your literal numbers 4 and 6. This is a 61-7 there. Okay. Yeah, I feel like this one is connected here, right? With the 7 and the Chariot. So you might have to make some moves. Make sure they're in alignment. But if they feel risky, you have the leadership abilities to do it. The Unstick the Stuck card, this feels like breathe in, right? And realize that this is going to be closing out. It's going to be successful. And if you're feeling stuck, especially mentally, I would say, you could be feeling stuck with your words, but I feel more like I am exhausted in my mind and I am trying to figure everything out. you may just need a good night's sleep. You know what I mean? You may just need to take a break. You may just need to do something fun or do something that makes you happy to relieve some of that in your mind, to the conflict or the, it says defeat here, but conflict or unrest in your mind that's clogging everything up. If you notice this month, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, that you're snippy at somebody. So maybe you're okay when you're leading in your work life, but then you come home and you're snipping at your kids, or you're snipping at your spouse, or you're snipping at your partner, or whatever it is. If you notice that, then that's the light bulb. That's the flag that you want to recognize, become conscious of, that there's something stuck, right? I'm overloaded. That you need to rest a bit. It will be your mind is overloaded. That's the feeling. And that's what they're giving me here. You're not actually stuck. It's all happening in your head. So liberate yourself. You may just go, you know what? We're not cooking dinner tonight. Let's go out. We're not going to be going to this today. We're going to do this instead. Or I'm just going to lounge. You know, I'm just going to put my feet up. Who wants to watch a movie? Whatever it is, to get yourself into a more relaxed state of mind or frame of reference, that's what I would say you'd want to do, because it's going to help you conclude things. 4610 is about conclusions. And remember, we started off this reading for you this month with this sense of wanting things to come from the heart and to be peaceful and harmonious by the end of the month. And we don't have to go from extreme, crazy conflict, to nothing. You know what I mean? To only relax and you can have some balance in that. So if you notice you're getting wrapped up in your mind, that might be a call to like make a change to your regularly scheduled program, or find something and do something that makes you a bit happy, just so you can have a mind break. Okay, final messages here. We have, do something to improve yourself. Any improvement you make will benefit all of humanity. Yeah, and it's because we do have the leadership card. I mean, you're operating as a leader. So when you improve yourself, particularly, I would say your mind, your perspective, your communication styles, it's only going to serve and benefit others. That's 100% true. Yes. And use equanimity to calm your emotions. This is a big one. You want to, again, we're looking for inner peace and calm through this month. And I feel like a lot of you are in a either high-powered situation, or it just feels like pressure, right? And so as we're breathing in, we're looking for those calm moments to level out your emotional body. Of course, this will be a bit individual for everyone, and there's much more information for you in the individual readings based on how it is that you're going to be reacting with the other 4 suits. So for you guys, that's fire, that's water, which is to do with your emotions, and earth. So you can head down to the description box and click on your particular sign to head to that reading, so you can get that extra look at how you can best work with the other elements. But overall, I think that you're using your air in a beautiful way to move things forward. The last thing you want to be doing is getting lost or stuck in your head, right? Because it is going to affect not only your emotions, but all of the people around you as well. You are a wonderful leader, and you are going to move this to success, whatever it is. There is going to be some successful, fulfilled conclusion feeling for you this month, along with the ability and the chance and the opportunity for you to have some downtime, to have some solitude, to reflect a bit, and to have the peace that you're looking for over the month. So I hope that this serves you. Don't forget to click down in the description to watch your individual sign, zodiac energy, and reading. And I wish you the best. I'll see you in your individual readings. Hello, Gemini. Welcome to this extra look. We're going to dig into and get some insight about how it is that you can best interact with and use the other elements. So you are an air element, and we want to dig into how you can use the other 3 elements that we've got going on. So let's roll these up for you. Look at that. It's a 9 energy with a 6 and a 3 here. We did see that harmonizing energy or that harmony energy coming up with that Six of Swords in your reading. And so there's this transitional kind of energy, looking for peace and harmony in your mind. And with that 3, you may have to take a bit of a creative approach, let's say. Perhaps this means balance using the other 3 elements as well. So let's give it a shuffle. Of course, those other 3 elements for you are fire and water and earth. And they're all very useful, especially as you're trying to like move something forward, bring it to a successful conclusion, bring it to some closure, not getting stuck up in your head, right? Looking at the gratitude moments, looking at the moments that are good for you right now and leaning into closure and getting ready to like take that break or have that solitude. It's going to be interesting how this pops up. So first, let's see what's here going forward. Not surprising, you did have that Chariot card and the Knight of Swords there in your initial reading, in your big reading there with your particular element. So going forward, we're looking at the fiery element now. So we're using the suit of Wands here. Going forward card is all about, you know, movement, and to have that connected to fire is nice. Fire is the fastest moving element. So you've got a lot of movement still showing up. Let's see what we have. Wow, King of Wands, amazing. This is the master of this suit. You did have the leadership card show up, and we're seeing leadership here again. Leadership and charismatic. You're really going to be able to use your light. So the suit of Wands is all about using that spirit within, that fire within, that inspiration within, the spark within you to move something forward. So you're going to need to step into this leadership position. We saw it in your spread, and now we're seeing it again with the suit of Wands. So your fire is very important. I feel like you guys are very inspiring people, right? This is kind of being made very clear. In the month of December, you're going to need to use that leadership skill, that charisma that you have, that passion that you have for something to move things forward. And again, I think there's a conclusion that wants to happen where you're moving towards success. How it is that you show up in your life, how vibrant you are, making sure that we're not dipping into the lower expression of this fiery energy, which would be, you know, being very impulsive or getting very angry. The King of Wands is this inspiring leader. It's like when you meet a King of Wands, you listen to them intently. You are kind of attracted to them in a certain way. You feel their light. You feel their inspiration. You feel their passion. I feel like you're going to be able to motivate even people. So if this is to do with a situation at your household or a group of friends, if it's your family members, if it is about a work situation, something that you're looking to conclude, you are the inspiring force. You're the motivating force. People are looking to you to be led. And so, I mean, they're telling you have what it takes here. That you have what it takes. That's what they're saying. You are the master of your light. You are the master of your fire. You can step into that knowingly and use it in a way that makes you feel extremely good. Also, you know, there was that sense with that happy reversed that you needed to be very present. So I would say anything that you can do that you want to lend your energy to or lend your spark to, you want to pick and choose the things in each moment or in the present moment, calling it back to your spirit and saying, does this provide this spark for me? Does this inspire me? Because you're going to need to show up at a very, very high level. I just think people are looking toward you for that go-ahead or that inspiration. You may be putting something out into the public as well with this, where you're moving forward and you are seen as that mentor or that leader in a certain field or with a certain topic where you have some expertise. And you're going to be very attractive to people with this kind of combination. They may want to come at you and move forward with you. So yeah, very powerful position you've got going on here for December. Let's see what else we have here. Flow. We're talking about cups here now. We're talking in the suit of emotion. So to have a flow card is absolutely lovely. The flow of water or the flow of your emotions, and also just the divine flow. Recognizing, this is going to be interesting because recognizing that there is a divine flow will keep you out of, right, the harsh energy that your mind may be presenting you, the harsh and conflicting energy of your mind is what I would say, because again, you as a Gemini, you may be going back and forth kind of with your spirit, with your inspiration, with your emotions and your mind. So intuition, mind, what am I meant to trust here? Because we're getting a flow card connected to the suit of cups or water, the water element. This is promising energy. We want things to flow. We want your emotional self to be able to flow. We want you to be able to be in that divine current and trust it to lead you, to guide you, right? So you're not feeling like you're stalling. Let's see what comes up here. Wow. Okay. Yeah, you guys are powerful beings. This is like great power, right? Great power, great responsibility, energy. You're getting the King of Cups. Double kings. Wow. How interesting. We didn't see the King of Swords show up in your reading. So I suspect that the mental energy, you need to keep tabs on it, right? How it is that you're communicating. We saw the Queen come in to conclude something, so being patient and stuff, but to have two kings, I mean, talk about leadership. This one says empathetic and caring. So the King of Cups is the governing body of the emotion energy, right? So you're talking about being in a really balanced, beautiful state in your emotional self. The King of Cups is a leader who is empathetic and who is compassionate and who's a great listener. The King of Cups actually cares, right? It's not a farce. It's not being put on. It's actual loving care, actually thinking about other people. And to have a flow card with the King of Cups, this means you're going to be the master of your emotions, right? So this is wonderful. I think we're going to get caught up a bit, again, in your mind. You are a Gemini. So noticing what that full spread said for you and really keeping tabs on your mind is going to be so important, because your mind's going to direct things, right? It's going to direct your emotions. And if we have the mastery over our emotions showing up here, this tells me you have every ability, Gemini, to not only direct your spirit, your inspiration, your passion, your fire out into the world, and then attract in what is going to help you and perhaps others move forward in the right direction. But also, you're able to tap into your emotions in a way that allows them to continue to flow here. So we're not getting the stagnancy energy in the emotional body. We are a master of our emotions. There's a way to process your emotions that feels really good and balanced. You obviously have the skills to do that. You may be really tapping into someone else's emotions or a group. Again, if you're putting something out there or if you're talking to a large group of people, you probably have this connection that they feel understood by you, right? They feel like you do have compassion for their situation, their circumstance, maybe their struggle or the results that they're looking to get. They believe in you. They believe what you're saying, okay? This is, again, great power, right? So we want to be able to do whatever it is that you can to stay out of the egocentric energy with all of this mastery. You are the master. You've got this. Not only can you lead, but you can lead well. And people look to you. They're looking up to you. Wow. Yeah, your emotions will be in a beautiful flow is what I would say. And if you feel, if you're moving through like feelings and such, I would back it on up. What am I thinking? Am I being stopped by my mind? Is there something that I need to be a bit more patient with? Is there something that I need to uncover? Is there something that can bring me back into this moment so that I can think better thoughts, let's say, to provide myself with that inner peace? Because I do need to show up here. It feels like you're really showing up. And again, we had that World card, so there's a successful result or conclusion, a fulfillment energy that is coming through. I think by the end of the month, it's going to be very evident that you are in a leadership position. If for some reason you're not believing that as I'm saying it and as these cards are coming out, then by the end of the month, as you return within or you have some solitude or you're going, taking a trip or taking some downtime, I'm hoping that you will understand your positioning, this mastery position, and that it provides you with confidence, right? Especially with the King of Wands here as well, confidence to be able to step into that leadership spot, that role, and wear it well is how they're saying it. Wear it well. So wow, master of the suit, master of the suit. Let's look at the physical now. We're going into the element of earth and the suit of pentacles. Courage. Okay. So this is like perhaps courage to show up. You can see that these waves are crashing on these rocks here. So maybe when your emotions are in a flurry, you need to take a moment to bring them back to a peaceful and balanced state. You definitely want to be able to flow with whatever emotions you're having, but here, you're going to need to tap into your bravery, tap into your courage. And because this is connected to a physical energy, so the suit of pentacles deals with, your finances, your physical self, your home life, your work life. I feel like you're going to be called and you're going to need to reach within yourself to, show up. You might get a little nervous in places during the month, maybe something's causing you a bit of anxiety. But again, I would look directly to the mind, look to the mental state and feed your mind with something beautiful, because think about a leader, think about the person that you admire most, the leader that you admire most, the person that you look up to. What do you think they tell themselves? How do you think they think, right? That's going to be important. You may want to have phrases keyed up to help put you in a leadership position that are, they're saying void. It's like acknowledging the ego, but void of the ego. So we're leading from a place that is a high expression energy. You're leading from this place that sees, you're seeking the highest good of all. That's the energy of it. It's like showing up for a divine appointment. That's the feeling that we're having. And so here on the physical plane, you might be a little nervous. You might need to gather yourself, gather your courage. If you're feeling a certain kind of way, take a moment to get back into a peaceful emotional flow so that you can move forward, being very charismatic, being inspiring. Again, shining your light, stepping into the spotlight even. Wow, what a great card to have here. 9 of Coins. Abundance and luxury. This is the payoff. This is having way more than you need. This is all of your work paying off, all of that movement, that the energy, the momentum coming together here. This is being very resourceful. When you get a 9 of Coins, the work has been put in. Maybe this is around where you're actually taking some time to yourself or taking some time to travel. Maybe you're spending some money on yourself or your family, or some downtime, some solitude time. Maybe you're doing some self-care because you did have that Hermit and a 6 of Swords. So the work is definitely going to pay off here on the physical plane, whatever it is you're working on. A 9 of Pentacles is about realizing that you have more than enough to go around. So it's like you have enough to be able to cover this and cover that and cover this, and you have more that you can choose to do with what you'd like with. It's also a positive card of independence and being very successful and grounded. So we saw that you're going to bring something to success. You're moving something to a conclusive energy that feels really good. And then I think they not only want you to enjoy some of that, but have the courage to step into this kind of energy where it's complete and you're okay with that. You know what I mean? Like you're in a reflection mode. Like, I did it. I'm proud of myself. I showed up. The other thing that's coming through here is you may need to, it almost feels like risk energy, like have the courage to allot some of the resources to a particular area. So you might be making either financial decisions. This could be moving things around in a way that you believe is going to benefit the whole, right? You may be outsourcing or using your resources in a new way, right? If you have to make some changes or you have to move something around to get the job done or to bring something to a conclusion, I would say don't be afraid to trust your instincts or trust your gut as it concerns what you have at your disposal to utilize, right? It's like knowing that you have more than what you need and then allotting that in the places from a leadership standpoint about how it is we can best utilize the resources that we have. So if this is talking about your own finances, you may be moving things around. You may be making different investments or saving a bit more because you have a bit more to save on the back end of this completion. If this is about, like your family, you may be taking some of that vacation fund and going on a bit of a vacation, traveling a bit. Maybe you're going to see someone or you're spending some money on something. If this is about your physical self, like your physical body, then yeah, you may be indulging a bit in some really great food or some self-care practices that you don't always do. Let's say you're not used to doing this all the time, but it's time to be able to invest in yourself there. Same thing with the home. Maybe you're making some investments in your home because you have a little extra or you've allotted this amount. At the end of the year, to have the extra here is really amazing. But I think there's a bit of a risk involved to have the courage card. Like you might be going back and forth about how do I use this? Am I going to be able to do this? Do I want to allot this resource for that? It could also be your time, your energy. You could be rearranging like the group, right? Maybe you're like, okay, we're gonna take the two of you, and I know that normally you work in this area, but I'm gonna move you over here so that we can move this forward and get it done. I'm gonna put you on this project. I'm going to put you in this place because I know that that's what's going to bring this to a conclusion or bring this to success. So whatever it is that you're fire is giving you and your water is giving you, the goal is to have those not putting each other out and to trust in the flow, that's what's going to, if you get a feeling, that's what's going to move you forward. You want to trust that, you want to light that up, but you may have to tap into, like I said, it's like a brave energy where I'm like, okay, I know we have it, but is this the right place to utilize it? Is it the right place to place it, right? Can I do that? Can we afford to do it? Can we afford to move those people? Can we afford to spend that money? And you'll be guided because you're coming from a very high expression here. You've got a lot of mastery energy. If you don't trust yourself here, it's just like we move into a scarcity thing, like a scarcity line is what it feels like, where it's like, I don't know, I'm not sure if I will have enough. Or you may be overspending. If you're in a low expression with the 9 of coins, I have all of this and I'm not paying attention, right? I'm not paying attention at all. I'm just going with it and I'm not tallying it up or I'm not keeping tabs. And so remember, you are a leader. You survey the landscape and you rise up to be able to make beautiful decisions and tap into that courage when maybe someone else is going, I don't know, I'm too afraid. You're like, no, I know this is the right way to move. I know this is the right thing to change. I know this is the right investment to make. We're going to do it. Break. Yeah, go team. That's what it feels like. Like you're the person people are looking to for your expertise in order to make decisions. And you can trust yourself here. You've got what it takes. That's what it feels like. You have what it takes. And you're getting the 9. Creative use of resources, harmonious use of resources, or bringing something to harmony, bringing something to peace. Let's get a couple more messages for you, Gemini, my very powerful Gemini. Thought that was coming out. Okay, good. I like this card for you. Humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. This is bringing in the levity that you may need. Again, I will say if you've got something that feels like it's getting really heavy, it's getting really lit up, right? You're getting a bit frustrated, you're getting a little bit unbalanced in your emotions, you're worrying, you feel anxious. This card coming out is exactly what you need because you want to keep it light, right? If it's heavy and it feels super pressure filled or lit up, you know, that can really delay you, or it can make other people also not work at their full potential or full capacity. And we don't want that. If you're leading someone, it's not that you need to be funny all the time or make light of every situation. You know, obviously there are points where you're being serious, you're being stern, you're being serious. Yeah, they're saying it again, serious. It's like, no, this is where we focus. This is where we need to dig in. However, you might have a celebration at the end of it. You might be able to make light of it. You make a joke at the back end of it. So people understand that it's serious, but also, you know, it's not the end of the world. You know, it's not the end of the world. And it might feel like that at times, depending on what you're trying to conclude or move forward, but there needs to be some lightness here. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. Find the levity each day. Find that lightness. Find that humor, okay? And if something, yeah, they're showing me something happening, like someone tripping or something silly happening, you know, don't ignore that. Actually allow that beat. Take that moment to laugh, you know, and to make light of it. Because it lifts the energy, especially if it feels really like a pressure cooker. It's going to lift the energy. And spirit joy guides are really good for that. They bring something funny in just when you need it or just when the group needs it, right? Okay. Pride. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. This is exactly it. This is that leadership quality that they were trying to talk about earlier with honoring the ego, because you are in the physical realm. You may have to make some big decisions. You may need to rearrange things. You may need to make some choices. You may need to, you know, move things around. You may need to be patient in places. It's this kind of energy where you are proud of yourself. You know you have what it takes. You love yourself enough to step into this role and do it with integrity, right? And then also understanding that everyone is looking to you and you do need to have some of this compassion, this care to think about other people, right? I love myself and I see myself in everyone. This isn't just about pride in what you're doing. I feel like you may be very proud of other people, the people that are around you, the people that are involved. If you're teaching someone something or a group something, if you're launching something, if you're shifting something around, it feels really good to have the community proud of themselves. You may have, again, a celebration. Maybe you're going to have a party at the end of the year for your family or your work colleagues. Maybe there's a holiday party that you're going to. The idea here is we have fun and we're proud of ourselves. Like, it's a job well done. And everybody gets to feel that, not just you because you're the leader. It takes a village, you know, it's that energy. Like, it wasn't just me doing this. You all contributed to this, and I'm proud of all of us. Wow. I mean, again, this is very powerful energy, Gemini. I have absolutely no doubt in your ability to balance this out. You've got mastery level vibes happening and the courage to back it up. So I hope that you have an amazing December and that you conclude and you feel successful and that you're able to move things forward and keep that balance in your mind and feel really good, feel at ease, and take the time out that you need once it's over to celebrate a bit. To transition your mind off the back end of it, to be proud of yourself. It was my pleasure to read for you. Don't forget to watch all of your other signs if you haven't yet, and I hope you have an amazing, successful December. Hello, Libra, Sun, Moon, and or Rising. We are now going to take an extra look at how you can best interact with and work with the other 3 elements over the course of this month. So let's roll up your dice. Wow, 6 and a 3. This is the exact same number that the Gemini energy rolled here. So it's a 9. Balance, energy, and then like creativity, community, etc. But we'll see how it shows up for you. I have a feeling it's a slightly different energy that we're going to see coming in. You also have that 6 of Swords, and they're bringing it up. Yeah, that 6 of Swords connected to the Hermit. So there may be a transition of mind here, moving something into a solitude place. Yeah, taking a break. We are going to look into the 3 other elements to see how you can work with them. So those elements for you are fire, water, and earth. Wands, cups, and pentacles. So let's see what we have here first. Wow, you're getting the solitude card again, right? The Hermit energy that we saw in your main spread connects to solitude energy. So you're getting the solitude energy again. And I will note, if you can see, this figure is in a boat. And oftentimes that 6 of Swords that we saw, we'll see the transition from a difficult time into a more peaceful and calm time, represented by a figure being transitioned in a boat by like a savior, or really it's the divine, right? That's helping and supporting you. So there is a massive need for solitude for you, Libra. Big time for December. You want to make sure you're utilizing those pieces and parts of yourself that need to be alone, right? That need to take a break, that might need a breather, a time off. Also because there was a very clear energy of you moving forward, bringing something to conclusions, etc. With the World card, the Chariot card, we're trying to have this successful close to the year. This tells me that there are points of solitude where your spirit, because we're looking at wands, we're looking at your fire here. We'll get the coupling card in just a second, but that your spirit might need a break, right? So maybe in the middle of it. Let's see what we have. The 4 of Wands, celebration and stability. This kind of goes along with the feeling that was being given in your main reading that like once something is successfully concluded, you get the downtime now. You get to take a break. You get to celebrate. The 4 of Wands is a card of commitment, successful commitment. The main energy here is that you're meant to commit to yourself. Interesting. To provide you that stable source to go to over and over again. You may want to just have like a daily meditation practice. It doesn't have to be long, or a daily connection practice, because I think it's very clear that you're going to have something to celebrate, or you're going to move something to a successful energy. Like you're going to successfully conclude the year. All of the air signs have this kind of vibe of I'm moving it to conclusion. I'm closing it out and feeling good about it. But to have the solitude around celebration and stability, it feels like celebrating yourself, maybe celebrating during your time off or once you've concluded something, for sure. That could be the case. But the 4 of Wands is about commitment to your own spirit, something that feels really aligned for you to make you feel stable. And because they're kind of giving us the alone time is what makes you feel stable, I feel like it's a commitment to self that they're saying for you, Libra, that you need to connect to your own spirit and commit to having that time to listen there, to advise. They're saying to advise, and interesting, to advise you. So what does your soul say? What do you find in the solitude that provides you with this beautiful, celebratory, stable energy? Again, I'm feeling there's a commitment to solitude that is needed. This may help you show up and move whatever it is you're trying to move forward with a plan, or it may provide you with some insight in these moments. We definitely are looking out for how your mind may be coming in to kind of stop you or make you afraid, or where you're having conflict in the mind in your main spread. So I think that this practice, this regular kind of practice, is really going to serve you to avoid that. Let's see what we have in the emotional sector. Cups, wonders, ooh. Sifting through the galaxy of your emotions. Wow, okay, what a sentence. This is lovely. Yeah, you see how this is nicely going hand in hand? It's like when we do take time out for ourselves, when we do take time to listen within, journaling, whatever it is that gets you connected to yourself, you may find that you're feeling a bit different. You may uncover certain ideas, information, certain feelings may come up that feel wondrous, that feel, well, they're saying like what do they say, diving into the galaxy of your emotions, something like that? Or discovering, I can't remember. That's channeling for you. Let's see what the card that's connected here in the Suit of Cups is for you. Ooh, the Two of Cups. Partnership and true love. This is wonderful. So now that we're seeing this, you may be trying to successfully conclude something that has to do with your partnerships, right? And maybe you've been worrying about it for a while, wondering about it for a while. This tells me that you're going to feel really good about it. Reciprocal energy, the wonderment of the heart connection. The Two of Cups, twos will be around partnership, of course, and that's written on this card. So obviously they're highlighting that. Being really grateful for who it is that you have. Maybe you've been annoyed lately, let's say, or you've been trying to work together with a particular person or in a particular partnership to move something forward, to get the information you need to be able to conclude it, to feel like it's set aside, to feel like it's done this month before we turn over into 2025. But here, I feel the happy reversed in your main spread is connected to this, meaning maybe you've just been like, oh my gosh, you're so annoying, or frustrated with somebody, or you've been butting heads with that Five of Swords, right? You've been having a bit of conflict. Maybe you've been having a little bit of, what is the word? Like verbal sparring. You're getting into these little quips, or you're saying something under your breath. And I heard that, it may not have felt so balanced. The Two of Cups is a card that says we have this beautiful reciprocal heart connection where we both feel heard, seen, understood. We're both giving and sharing, receiving love. So whatever partnerships you've got going on in December, I feel like you're working together. That's why I like to look at the individual signs, because for some people, this is a big group that they're working with to move something forward to a successful conclusion. But to have a Four of Wands and a Two of Cups showing up here for you, Libra, this is probably a partnership that is somebody you're married to. It could be someone that you're in like a long-term partnership with, because again, Four of Wands will represent as a marriage card if needed, long-term commitment of the soul. Right? And maybe you've been pondering it. You've been trying to make some decisions about it. This doesn't have to be a romantic partner. It could be like a long-term friendship that you've had, or a family member that you love dearly, right? And you are looking to conclude something is what it is, to feel good about it before the year is over. And so because, like I said, this is really feeling connected to that happy, which was reversed for you, we want to look at the present moment and try to find the wonderment, what makes you happy about this partnership. You may need to assess the commitment here. Like, okay, I know I'm good at this and I know you're good at that. So let's balance this out so that we're both feeling like we are giving our best, using our best in this partnership. But I do feel like something's going to conclude for you. It just feels like a checking off of boxes or something, and then relief, right? It's like, okay, I'm glad that we figured that out. I'm glad that we brought that to a conclusion. I'm glad that we understand that now. I'm glad we have the information that we need. I'm glad it's like that feeling, right? And it involves a partnership. So if it's in business where you work with someone that you really love, you're concluding something and you both feel absolutely wonderful about it. You've both given your heart to it. And yeah, you're just diving into that energy of going this is amazing, right? If you're working on something with someone where you're really you've been committed to it, you're trying your best to bring it to fruition, bring it to fulfillment. This just feels like the give and take is needed. And if you're trying to make any kind of decision for yourself, because twos will also be around decision, you want to dig into your heart center to go okay, Is this something that is going to be balanced for me? Is this something that I really want to commit to, or to commit my energy to, my heart to? Is this something that I'm going to love in the future, right? Do I want to continue with this connection? And I think that we need, again, back to this energy, the solitude time, the time alone to dig into your heart center, to dig into your light within, your divine self, to know about those commitments that you want to make, right? If you have something that's concluding or ending and you're looking at making new commitments, this would be the time to really tap into your heart center and go, what feels good to me? What feels balanced? What feels like I want to give to it from your heart? Feels like something I want to love, or something that I love to do, or someone that I love to work with, or someone that I love to be in exchange with. Do I want to keep doing that? And I think you're going to find out some wonderful information about how it is that you can be at peace with that energy. You also had the leadership card show up, and I feel like that's just personal responsibility. That's what they're saying. Personal responsibility over your own heart, over your own decisions. Let's see what we have coming in on the physical plane. Yeah. Okay. Love this. You see, it's like in the solitude, I access wonders and wisdom. That's kind of how it feels. This group definitely needs a practice. Okay. It's like, it will be much more clear and easy for you if you have a connection practice where you're tapping in and you're trusting in yourself and you're trusting in your wisdom and you're trusting in, you see the depths, like listening to yourself, listening to that voice of your soul, listening to what your heart's desire is, listening. A lot of listening for you, Libra. Yeah, let's see what we have. Now, the suit of pentacles is all earth energy. So this is about the physical plane, the physical experience. Wow, 10 of coins. Oh, I love this. Wealth and the family unit. You may be getting your finances in place, right? Getting your finances in place by the end of the year, learning wisdom or understanding or taking in some sort of information about how to utilize your finances, how to make more money, how to conclude something, what to invest in. The 10 of coins is a conclusion card, but it's a very highly abundant card. It means that you have a lot to work with and that you're going to be very abundant come the close of the year. If you're trying to close out like something that has to do with a partnership in business, this is the payoff here, right? It's like, I understand that this is going to be very lucrative for me. It's going to provide me with wealth. If it's to do with a physical, like your home or your body, this says you're going to be in really great shape, right? Things are going to be in order and not just plain normal order, but there's this abundance feeling that surrounds you, protection energy. And if it has to do with your family, right, and these heart connections, you can see it's unification. It's bringing people together. It's having the right insight, learning from what it is that you know or have been through in order to feel the abundance surrounding you for the close of the year. This is wonderful energy. I would go as far as to say, when you do your daily practice, because I think, again, I'm going to say it's very necessary. It's how you're going to get in alignment with all of this magical, lovely energy that you have going on. It will deter you. Like your mind might take over and just sit in fear or illusion or conflict. You had a couple of difficult cards in the main spread that could lean that way, and we don't want to lean that way. Not with this kind of energy for you, Libra. You want to be checking in on the regular so you can have that like touchstone, that touch base energy with yourself so that you stay in this lovely commitment, because commitment, love, abundance, all of this is available for you. One, for your own self, and two, in the partnerships that you have going on. It feels lovely. I mean, you're going to have basically what you need by the end of the month to feel like not only you can breathe a sigh of relief, but you can trust, thank you, that you are going to move forward with the right commitments in place, the right wisdom in place, the right connections in place, the right kind of abundance in the alignment, the right alignment in place into 2025. I want to say it feels like setup energy, but this kind of feels more like a knowing. And that's probably why they're like pushing heavy to a daily practice or something that's going to connect you, because the knowing comes from within. It's not something that you think about, right? So you don't want to be lost in your mind. We want the inner peace. We want you to feel like you are the leader of your life, right? And if certain things need to be shifted, changed, moved forward, acted upon, that grounding touchstone every day is only going to serve you well, right? It's only going to help you feel and take this energy in. And I feel like in this group, you may be feeling like you're just in full alignment with this energy as you move into the next year, right? The next calendar year. It's like everything's in place. I feel really good. It's a relieving kind of energy. Yeah. Let's get a couple more messages for you before we go. Libra, woo. Growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. Yeah, this is the perfect lineup for that. And also the practice is the perfect lineup. I want to remind you that in order to do a daily practice, you don't have to do anything big or important or crazy. You can do something that's very simple. It doesn't need to be this long, tiring thing. You want to get to the point during this month where you're looking forward to it, right? Like you're looking forward to the practice. You're looking forward to going within. You're looking forward to touching base with yourself. That they keep saying like that, touchstone or touch base. So the idea of like, oh yay, I get to do my daily practice now, or I get to connect. I get to write down what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing, what I'm listening to. Let's see what else we have here for you. Forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. So this is about your heart center. It may be about your partnerships that we have been discussing with this Two of Cups, right? It may be that you've, again, been very frustrated. Maybe you've been butting heads with someone. Maybe you have been trying your best and pushing and trying to conclude this. And maybe this month isn't just the beginning of that. Maybe you've been working on something for a while and it's caused some kind of friction, thank you, in your heart center. If that is the case, you have growth and forgiveness. So it is the time. This says, I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. And that is exactly what we want flowing here. Love and abundance and this inspired commitments, feeling really good. So work on opening up your heart, right? Unleashing that beautiful heart of yours and connecting from this heart-centered place. Because really, when you have an intention for growth, expansion, and your consciousness and awareness, when you have that intention going into a regular practice, sky's the limit for you. And if it's time for you to let it go or to release the resentment energy or release the thing that was holding your heart back or holding you back from experiencing this, then it is definitely time for you to be able to open up your heart again, to feel the love swirling all around you, because good things are coming. It feels like you're starting the year in this really beautiful, grounded, connected, loving, abundant space. We wouldn't want anything like holding your heart back from fully experiencing that kind of a vibe. So yes, growth and forgiveness, expansion and love. Wow, I hope this serves you, Libra. This is a lovely energy for you to close out the year on. It was my pleasure to read for you. Don't forget to watch your other readings so that you know how all of your energy is working together and you get all of the guidance and insight that you need. And I will see you in the next one. Have a beautiful, expansive kind of December. Hello, Aquarius, sun, moon, and or rising. We are going to take an extra look now for you at how you can best interact with the other 3 elements this month. So let's give these a roll and see what your indicator shuffle number is. Wow, double 2s. Okay. This is together stability energy, but this is about forward movement. We really saw the movement happening, perhaps decisions. Twos definitely indicate partnership, they indicate decision making, and they indicate forward movement. And you've got a lot of that in your main spread happening for you. Right, we're working towards a conclusion. We're working towards success, and I think that all of the air signs are definitely bringing something to fruition and feeling really fulfilled for you. We're going to see how this shows up, but it looks like there is stability to be had here, and you're definitely going to be using your intellectual skills to make wonderful decisions, your leadership skills, hopefully peaceful decisions. Perhaps you're working in partnership of some sort. Let's get some more insight. So the other three elements for you, of course, are fire, water, and earth. So let's see what we have here in the fire section. Taking risks. Ooh, it's a good card to have around fire. And we see a bird of prey soaring high above. This feels like we are scoping out the landscape, taking a massively bigger picture view in order to be able to assess appropriately. This, as much as this card says taking risk, we need to see the coupling card, of course, but I just feel like these are calculated. They're calculated risks. It's not like you're working with no information at all. I feel like you have the landscape, you know the landscape, you definitely have wisdom. You are a leader, right, Aquarius? You are a leader. That was showing up in your main spread as well. And there's a change that needs to happen. It's happening whether you like it or not, but I feel like you have the information to take a calculated risk. Let's see what's connected. Whoa. Five of Wands, competition and fighting. Interesting. That's the low expression of this, what they have written down here. A Five of Wands energy. Yeah, some change needs to happen with a 5 energy. I'm just listening for a second. This is very interesting. It's like you need to shift something or do something differently in order to set yourself up for that success and completion. And it probably is going to involve some risk as they're showing us. However, you want to look out for the low expression of a 5 of Wands, which is about being in competition with other people or comparing yourself to someone else, and that yucky feeling that comes when you do that. You don't want to be making decisions or taking risks from a place of scarcity or just because you want to beat somebody else, right? That's not the goal here. This is a bit of a warning. You need to take the calculated risk with the information that you have in order to build yourself up, right? To, in this case, bring something to a conclusion, which we saw, but the decisions that you're making feel like they're coming from this sense of setting yourself up, making changes and making choices that might feel a bit risky to help you, right? Shine or bring something to victory or conclusion. So when you get a 5 of Wands and a high expression, this is about looking around and working with the people who can lift you up, who get you. This is about like practicing to be able to shine. Ooh, we got sirens if you can hear those. I'm sorry about that. Something is happening. So build up around practice, setting goals and being able to achieve them, setting stuff up differently, making a change as to how it is that you guys are, setting it up is what they keep saying. So maybe at the last minute or as you're moving something forward, you go, you know what? Something doesn't feel right. I feel like if we maneuver this here or we set this up differently or we do it at this time instead, it's really going to bring this to success or fulfill this or conclude this or make it successful, right? So I would say use your innate sense of mastery, like use your experience, use what you've gained to work with people that aren't trying to cut you down or aren't necessarily competing with you in that negative kind of way, because healthy competition is good. This is making me feel like we're launching something, like you're launching a product and you have other competition, but you're not solely making your decisions or taking your risks, right? Making your decisions or taking your risks based on what your competition is doing. You're actually looking at what you have to offer, the inspired people that you have around you, and you're setting things up with the observation of the competition. So it's like healthy competition, like you know you're competing, but you're not doing it to one-up them necessarily. You're doing it because it feels like the shift is needed. It feels like this is going to give you a better result. It feels like this is inspired action. That's what it feels like. I'm making an inspired change. We have the calculations around it. We have all the insight. We have the information we need. I think it's the time. I think we need to set this up differently. I think we just have to tweak it a little bit. Yeah, you might be making some like last minute tweaks, or you might be going in a different direction. Depending on what it is you're working on or trying to conclude, you're going to need to like kind of relate it to your experience. But you certainly don't want to be fired up and fighting while you're making choices, especially if they feel a bit risky. You want to be in this center of like, yep, this is going to lift us up. I feel it. Let's do it. It feels aligned. So any kind of change you're making, it's like inspired change. Let's see what else we have for you, because this is it's like go get 'em kind of energy. Well, there we go. Woo! Success everywhere. Success. Yeah, we already knew this about you in your main spread, but I think that, you know, that hit when sometimes you get this hit, like an intuitive hit, and it comes in and you're like, I think we should just move that way, or we should work with this person, or we should put this person as the face of this, or something like that. It's like, I don't know why. I feel like we can do it. It might be risky. It might be a risk, but I can feel it. I know it's the right choice. And then we're getting the success card in the emotional track here. We're looking at the Suit of Cups and water, which has to do with your emotions. And so to have a successful feeling in your emotional track here, Aquarius, that's all we're looking for, because success is very different for everyone, right? So when we say, oh, I want to be successful, what we're really saying is I want to have the feeling of success. And so that's going to be different. The marker, the physical marker, what you're trying to achieve to be able to provide yourself with the feeling of success is going to be different for everyone. And so clearly we know that you're going to be successful, but I would say if you like avoid the risk or you play it safe, I don't know if we're getting there. Let's see what's connected with the Suit of Cups here, what card you get connected to this success. Yeah. It's not out on a limb. It's calculated, but it's not playing it safe either. Page of Cups, emotional message, a surprise. The page is a new chapter. So maybe this ushers in a new chapter where the success is going to continue. I feel like you're going to get validation also. They're showing that word validation. Yeah, you're going to get validation for the risk that you were meant to take. If you're working in a group and at the last minute you decide to say, guys, let's move it in this direction, or let's come up with messaging for this, or let's spontaneously decide, like, let's say it's your family members and you're going somewhere and you spontaneously decide to kind of take a risk and book something else or show up somewhere. And it becomes this amazing, fun thing where now you're like, I think we should do this more often, where we just kind of go with it. Even though it feels a bit risky to do, it turned out really well. And, you know, I'm going to start trusting myself more, basically. I'm going to start trusting in my intuitive nudges or those inspiring actions that I feel bubbling up within me or coming up within me that I want to take. So a Page of Cups is about looking into your heart center. Pages will bring news, and in this case it says a surprise. So maybe it's a surprise success, like maybe it goes better than you think it's gonna go, or when you bring something to fruition, it's like more than you think. So your heart is like overjoyed and overflowing, and you're just excited, right? An emotional message. This may be someone coming up to you that says, wow, like, you know, I'm really grateful to have been working with you. If you're taking a risk, let's say on a family trip, your kid says, you know, I really loved this. This was so fun. Best trip ever, you know, that kind of thing. But it welcomes in a new chapter for you. So the page energy, especially in the suit of hearts, is about looking into your heart center, right? It's about asking and being explorative of your own emotions. It's about noticing what feels good and what your heart is calling for or wanting for. So it's a new chapter of success connected to emotional fulfillment. I think maybe in the past you got a bit caught up in your head and you were maybe defining success in a certain way. And this may shift your idea of what success means to you, right? Because you know, with this page, you see the fish popping out of the cup. So the cup represents your heart center. The fish represents sort of like a distraction, something that may be distracting you from your true heart's fulfillment or heart's desire. And if you were distracted in the past, or you were too like logical, analytical, or needing to stick to things, strict things, now this kind of success brings an opening of your heart where maybe you're conscious of these distractions and you're going to try to avoid them in the future. It's almost the feeling of like, wow, I didn't think that this was going to feel so good, or I didn't think that it was going to go so well, which is exciting, very exciting. But again, it's because you're like not playing it safe. You know, you're trusting your instincts. I love this. Let's see what we have in the earth energy. Patience. Interesting. Okay. On the physical realm. So far, we've had some exciting kind of energy, and now here on the physical plane, we're getting patience with a bird, by the way, another flying bird. Wow. Abundance and luxury, the 9 of coins. Love this. This is about having much more than you need, right? It's about a wealth of abundance coming in. It's about your hard work paying off. Again, if you're going on a vacation with your family, you're going to use some of that money to be able to maybe do something fun that was outside of the plan you initially had. If it's about investing, making an investment in whatever risk you're looking to take, or a shift that you're looking to make, or a choice that you are making here, then you can see that you're willing to invest in it, right? And it is going to pay off for you. This is about being in a state where you know you have more than you need. You know you have enough. Also, because the patience card is here, I think there's 2 messages. Number one, avoiding the low expression of this card, you don't want to make hasty decisions with your resources. So again, it's a calculated risk. It's not an impulsive energy. It's not an impulsive energy. It's surveying the landscape and then making a logical and inspired decision. It's like a beautiful balance of that. The patience energy here, we did see that Hermit card in your main spread, and I'm wondering if there's some patience that needs to be had with how you're going to make your investments, how to use your resources, but also on the back end, how the abundance grows in your life, how you're meant to allot the different streams of, let's say, income, or the different like parts that you have, meaning this could be like, how do I use the people that are in this group to the best of the ability for the whole? How do I use the funds that I have? Where do I want to allot them? You may need to be a bit patient to truly understand the kind of abundance that is being provided here on the back of this success. So it's this feeling of like not being hasty with your resources, not being hasty with your abundance, right? With the resources that you have, the money that you have, how you're investing it matters. It's like a patient, grounded look at all of the wealth that you've got going on. And again, this doesn't just have to be money. It could be you have lots and lots of physical things. Maybe you collect something, or yeah, you're working with a group of people and they all have specific skills that are amazing, and you're needing to kind of like take a step back and look into it so that you can make the best decisions from the highest expression about how to allot those resources, whatever they may be, because you're going to have plenty. That's what it feels like. This is like plentiful energy off the back of a conclusion or a success energy. And it's lovely. I mean, it's wonderful vibes, but I feel like they're saying don't be hasty. They keep saying that. Don't be hasty. Because in a low expression or reversed energy, you know, a 9 of coins can be, we're overspending. We're not paying attention at all. We're not being patient. We got it, easy come, easy go kind of energy. And we don't want to get into that at all, because there's continued success here. That's the second message that's coming through for you here, Aquarius, is that if you can understand that this is just the beginning and you still kind of connect to this leadership energy, this ability to make intuitive and inspired choices that also have this calculated energy to them. So analytical energy, right? Doubling down on 2s. That if you can have the patience moving forward over time, you're just going to keep building the abundance. Right. Okay. Let's get you a couple more messages before we go. Yeah, I feel like whatever you're working on, whatever you're working towards, whatever you're deciding on, whatever you put your energy into is going to turn out a bit better than you expected. And then we kind of like sit and wait on it. Remember, Hermit, 6 of Swords in your main spread, Patience in the 9 of Coins. You don't wait on all of it necessarily. Like you might give yourself a little bit here or a little bit there, or invest in something different. But if you don't know, then don't go. You know, it's this feeling of just kind of sitting back and relishing almost in it, taking a breather, being happy and grateful. Loneliness. I know that I am never alone. They said it's alone. It's lonely at the top. That's what they just said. It's lonely at the top. This calls for connection. This calls for, connection. That's the word they're saying. Connection. Here, you can see there's a group going on, right? Again, you have a lot of resources. However that's connecting for you. It's lonely at the top. Interesting. Maybe you're beating out the competition based on the risk that you take, and you feel like you're in a league of your own, or again, like you're baffled by this, or you're surprised a bit by it, and you kind of don't know what to do there. I would say make sure that you are connecting with those around you, no matter what it is. Let's say this is success in work and you're bringing something to conclusion there. Share it with the people that you love, right? Don't just keep it all to yourself. You don't want to be in scarcity here. You've got more than enough. You also don't want to be hasty with it. So there's a beautiful balance. And I don't know, I just feel like they don't want you to feel so alone, right? You have 2s here. So partnering up, being around communities, those people that you love and that you trust, make sure that you remember to engage with them over the course of December, especially if you're like hard at work or moving something forward. Let's say you're making changes to your house and you're just all wrapped up in it. And you're the deciding factor, right? It's like maybe spend some time with the other people. Maybe ask somebody's opinion as well, because you're not really alone in it. It just might feel that way. And worry, loneliness and worry. I am learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. Interesting. This may be kind of pointing to your main spread and the narratives going on in your head, right? You are an innovative air sign, and we did see the 8 of Swords and the 5 of Swords there causing kind of like conflicting energy, because loneliness and worry, you know, you can feel alone in your mind. So that's what's bringing up the combination of them. It's like, that's why it's important to ask other people's opinions, like communicate what's in your head instead of getting caught up in your head, because it may cause this worry energy. If it feels lonely in your mind, like you're all alone, that's the point at which you want to be able to reach out. That's what you have to have consciousness around, so that you're not up in your head in like conflict and stressing out about something. Worry doesn't change the outcome. And if you can have some support here and not feel so lonely, yeah, it's like in the trappings of my mind, I feel like I'm the only one here and I'm alone. Well, perhaps whatever's going on in your mind that might be causing you to feel anxious or worried or frustrated, like maybe you're trying to calculate what the best thing to do is, just chat about it with someone. They're saying even someone who's not connected to you, right? Partnering up with someone who's a mentor or a therapist or someone who's there to just kind of allow you to chat, to get it out of your head, right? It feels like it's a human though. Like normally I'm asking for, should they write it down, journal to get it out of your mind, like a mind dump? But they're saying, no, it's an actual person that you can confide in or you can go to about what you're worrying about. And they can hold space for you there to get whatever's in your head out, So don't hesitate to do that, because this is like pretty cool energy. It's high level energy. It's you moving and shaking and feeling really successful and being able to move into a new chapter with even more resources and kind of knowing, okay, I'm onto something. This is going to continue. So we don't want you to be kind of held back in your mental state. Go and chat with somebody about it. Whoever you trust, right? You want to chat with someone that you trust. You don't want to be just saying it to anyone and everyone who doesn't understand you, because that might cause you to worry even more. Instead, you are not alone. Reach out for the support if you find that you're being kind of caught up in the trappings of your mind, the fears, the illusions, the conflicts, etc. Because worry isn't going to change the outcome. And the outcome for you is successful. It's fulfillment. It's conclusion. We're seeing that in both of your spreads, your main spread and this individual look. So we don't want to get caught up in it. We want to be able to have that mind flowing freely, to be patient and to listen for the insights and the clarity so that you can move forward, so that you can make these inspired decisions or take inspired actions, calculated risks that bring this wonderful abundance into your life. And like I said, continued abundance. And you can feel that success vibe is going to feel really, really good, but worrying about it isn't going to make it, it's not going to change it, right? It's not going to make it feel any better. So yeah, get those worries out of your head and just know that you can trust yourself, Aquarius. You can trust yourself this month. You've got this. As long as you don't second guess your intuition and your beautiful, talented mind, right? Then you'll always be headed in the right direction. So I hope that this serves you for the month ahead. It was a pleasure to read for you. Don't forget to watch all of your signs so that you have a good outlook and you have all the insight you need for the month. And I hope you have a beautiful, successful December.